Okay, so finally, sorry for the 3 minutes late, but I had some technical issues from a very heavy 100 mega file to 10 times less. So I really hope it is okay now. I also hope that you can see me and hear me. So before I start everything, please tell me. I'm just gonna check here if you can hear me, if there's okay, seems to work. Okay, so I'm gonna start, hoping some people show up at a moment or not. And anyways, whatever happens, this will be recorded. I will add timestamps afterwards. So yeah, I'm gonna start. So as you can see, I have 6 glasses. There could be even another one, but I don't want to drink too much tonight. And also, there's some things I'm going to speak again about. I think of one whiskey there that is going to be reviewed as soon as possible. Okay, so I'm starting. I see one viewer only for now. Hello. Help yourself if you want to say hello in the chat. So just so you know there's someone watching. And yeah, anyway, so what I'm going to speak about is this show, and I'm going to try this way. I can do also this way, but maybe for now I'm going to try this way. Right, so I can have also your comments. So what is this? It was more than 2 weeks ago. There was a big show, probably one of the biggest, I think, ever in France, about and one of the biggest of Europe and of the world, related to wine, whiskies, and other spirits. As you can see, this is the press release and the poster of the show on the right. And yes, sorry, I still cannot erase this bar up there with the 2 colors. I don't know why and don't know how. So either I'm covering it with a bigger picture or I cannot remove it. So apologies for that. Anyways, we have 120 whiskies, in fact, 2 sweet wines. And other spirits. Hey, hi, Tim. Good to see you. Hope at least you are watching for now. So welcome on board. Please tell me where you're from. So maybe there's something about you, your country in there. And as a quick introduction, while I was wondering during the show and afterwards of how many countries were producing whiskies, obviously there's way more producing wines, right? I found something crossing different informations on internet and malt whiskey yearbook, basically, between other things. Okay, I didn't do a deep research. Really, I didn't have time to go. But I went with around 45 countries producing, then can go up to 50. Depends also if you count differently. Scotland, I mean the United Kingdom, different regions. Specifically for whiskey, I mean, if you count Scotland as a country, producing Wales, Northern Ireland, plus Ireland, which is not in UK, it's a lot. Anyways, I saw the number of 100 countries producing whiskies. I couldn't find in a quick search because I had a lot of work to do to prepare this. I couldn't find 100. I found the half. And I have now 18 countries represented in my collections, and you can add 2 or 3 more in samples only. But bottles, yeah. Distilleries over 160. Anyways, oh, okay, England, Devon, oh, rainy. Yeah, I see. Well, you're gonna hear a bit about English whiskey. Not enough, in my opinion, in this show, but there were just, let's say, one brand, and I met someone from another brand. Right, so I think the best now is to start with some specs, and this is complicated. Let's see if I can get it more. Yeah, so this is a massive show. You're going to see the map of the venue. You're going to understand why it was so hard for me. Instagram and a bit on YouTube, maybe you have heard of it. So this is 60,000 visitors expected this year, with 155 markets, 6,000 exhibitors, 60 countries. Bearing in mind it is mainly a show about wine. The other spirits are a minority regarding the surface of the venue. So what do they say else that could be interesting for you? 25%. So which I translated to 10 new brands I never heard before. I am going to cover here quickly. Okay, there was also a no alcohol section, and I will speak about one brand because there might be something going on with them. So it will be also a spoiler. Okay, I'm going to go back to this or this and move on to the next slide. So next, the venue. If you can see the circle in a yellow I made, these are the sections which I visited. And to give you an idea, if you follow me, if you take only the second section, section number 2, the one in the middle, the big one in the middle, the venue itself, this one, only this one, is as big as Whisky Live Paris, which is almost 15,000, 13 or 50,000 square meters. So if I had to visit all the wine and the other spirits on the whole, all of the sections, I mean, you need a month probably, and 2 or 3 different livers to get. So you can't. So what did I do? I did. I forgot it. Okay, there's always something you forget. Oh, excuse me a second, if I can find it, and it's the moment I don't find it. It's always like that, otherwise it's not funny, right? Anyways, so I had planned to visit a few stands in the 7th hall. There's a 7 hall and even different in the 7th hall, but I had to give up. I wanted to visit 3 stands in the hall 4, where there was also the media center, and at this stage I had to thank the organizer, Wine Paris Vin Exposium, because I got the press pass for the 3 days. Unfortunately, I was so tired at the end of the 2nd day, I didn't do the 3rd day. But the main whiskey and other spirits brands, let's say, they were concentrated in the hall 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about the first hall, hall 4, where I did see 2 or 3 different brands, and then I'm going to to the hall 2 for the main brands, and also I'm going to along the way I'm going to try 6 different bottlings. Only one I have, all the others are gifts, press gifts, mind you. So if you're very orthodoxal, I mean, very rigid about that, and you think I'm going to be biased for every one of them, you can leave now. Excuse me. Otherwise, if you trust me, you can see what I have to say about them. And I don't think I'm going to be biased, but you have the right to think it is. But you know me, I'll do my best to give you my opinion. Like some say honest, it is always honest, so I'm not going to force myself. Right? Okay, so big venue, very tiring. To finish with that, yeah, there were 3 drawbacks about this show, but there are also qualities, of course, on the other side. So on the negative side, the size of the venue it already. The location system was very difficult with numbers at different parts. The thing is that I really struggled to find my way, especially in the hall 4, which was gigantic. So I lost a lot of time, and also I missed a lot of stands. I'm not going to list them all now. Anyway, the third one was the conception of the show itself, which is basically what people might not get or understand, and even me. This is more of everything, most of everything, a professional show. So the professional show means that people come from all over the world to meet the brand's reps, etc., to make contracts. So, and this goes to the good and the bad point, which is there are a lot of chairs and armchairs in this show, which is very something enjoyable for someone like me who has health issues and need to sit every now and then to have some rest between all the work you have to do. But on the negative side, this means you had to have most of the time appointments in advance. But when you don't know how to locate yourself in the show and in which hour you're going to find your stand to visit, it is barely impossible for me to do appointments there. I managed to do one, but I get to this point shortly. Right, so 10 minutes already or more. Let's go to the brands. Okay, first one I did, and here's for Tim, if he's still there. First one, the Lakes. So it was one of the very, very few whiskey brands inside the whole 4. So the Lakes, the English distillery, I'm gonna go very quick on the presentation of each company because otherwise I'm gonna do 4 hours. But I already talked about the Lakes in the show. So they were presenting 4 bottles of whiskey. Here's the new one, totally new for me, which was a travel retail, and apparently I couldn't believe that, the first ever travel retail expression. First fill Oloroso sherry, matured in both European and American oak cask, 48%, non-chill filter, non-color. All these details are on the screen, but it's for people listening in podcast mode. You know who you are. So, yeah, I need my notes now. So, yeah, I'm gonna go before this one. So you have on the left you have the signature, which is the new one, mainly in PX, new core range. I already talked about it, but PX and Oloroso, 47% ABV, very sweet, less oaky, less spicy, very more approachable than the Whiskey Makers number 7, which is probably going to end. Signature, as I understand it, is a replacement, but at the same time, doesn't seem this time they say it's going to be. It's not completely sure about that. So Signature, to give you an idea, for those who know Kavalan, it's quite close to Kavalan and Lan, or maybe more to the triple sherry. But it is 47% ABV, so it has a bit more bite than those two, which are 43 for the Lan and 40 for the triple sherry. For the Maker's Reserve, for those who don't know, so the bottle with number 3 on the picture coming from the left. Oloroso PX, red wine, Spanish oak and European oak involved, and it's I think it was 52. I didn't know 52% ABV. Quite punchy, bit tannic, bit oaky, but very elegant and very, very, very nice. I really loved it. I loved a bit less the Boundless. It's first fill American and European oak sherry. Maybe it was a bit more. There was something maybe less appealing. I don't know really why, but still quite a good one. 48% ABV. I don't know. In some ways, maybe I would have liked to have even more, a few more percentage. I don't know. So a bit hesitating about this one. Next is not a distillery which was there, but when David Thompson, who was in another show, busy preparing another show, learned that I was going there. He told me that Jenni, their marketing director, so we're talking about Spirit of Yorkshire Distillery and F.T.B brand, told me she was going there to find a new distributor because they lost the distributor in France. And I really love what they do, which you already know if you follow the channel. Very subtle single malt. So what did I do? I met Jenni there, and we had a nice lunch, and we tried to find a way to. I tried to help her for her contacts to find a new distributor. So we don't know if it's gonna work. But what also interesting in the picture I gathered there is that on the left picture where Jenni is, you can see the previous packaging of the flagship, and I think it's probably the Moscatel on the right, I'm not sure. Or is it the STR? It's too small to see from here. But on the right, you have the revamped core range, which you can see the flagship, which is around it in blue, around and the sherry and the STR, sorry. But what you don't see is, aside from this slight change of label, there's also the ABV that's not 46 now, but 47.3. And it is said also that it's a bit older, and the influence of the previous content is a tad more present than before. So I really hope we're going to see this brand again in France. Okay, and it was very cool to meet Jenni again. Next up, and for this one, I spent a lot of time because, in fact, the problem was the main activity of those two brands. Their parent company, I think it's Constellation Brands for the left and Purple Brands for the right. As you can see on the background of the right picture, the bottles were even not shown, except from a small place outside, which I didn't see. There were wines all over the place for the two stands, and I really struggled to find, but finally I managed. And let's be more practical. New brand for me, but it's present since 2015, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Redwood Empire, which is, I wrote down 2019. Sorry, I don't remember why. Oh yeah, in 2019 they released a single malt. But here there were only the pipe dream on the left, which is 73% corn, 18 rye, 10% wheat, something, and malted barley, I think 30. In the middle you have the Lost Monarch. Oh yeah, 4 to 14 years old, so nice array of ages for this one. And the one in I really love this one. It's a complex bourbon, and it was my favorite of the three. They all were good, in my opinion. The Lost Monarch, 45% ABV as well. It's a mix of bourbon and rye. According to the official website, it's 3 to 14 years old, but on the stand I was told 4 to 6, so I don't know. 55% rye, 45% bourbon. Very nice. Maybe a bit drier. Then on the Giant, which is from somewhere 4 to 8 years old, 92% rye, 3% wheat, and 5%, if I'm not mistaken, malted barley. So quite an interesting and different recipe for each one, and I really loved what happened there. With a different take from the other brands I know. Now, I don't know if blind I would have recognized those or say distinguish them from the other brands. I don't know. The High West on the right that you can see already covered that long time ago. The only year they were present at Whisky Life Paris. You can still find the whiskies, but apparently they lost the distribution, or they don't Life Paris, unfortunately. So this is the two among the four I know, and I really love those two. So I don't have a lot more to say than the last time. So quite recommend those five, in fact. And if you had to choose only one of the Redwood Empire, it would be the Bourbon, the Pipe Dream, the first one that I really loved. Next up, we will go back to the USA later on. We're going to move now to Brave New Spirits. First operation, I met Paul there, the founder. So it's a Scottish indie bottler, which now owns the Witchburn Distillery, which is a brand new one. They had a lot of things on their stand. I couldn't try everything. I even had to select the pictures. I'm not showing you the probably 150 pictures, but the 50 less maybe, or 20 less. Especially took picture of everything they had on the table and about a dozen bottles. But even with that, unfortunately, Paul told me that there were a container was blocked at the customs for some reason, and they should have had way more single malts, especially on the table. So I was not happy about that, and him neither. But nevertheless, I tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whiskies there, and it was interesting. First one on the left. It's not a picture. Wow, wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, it's one of the pictures I had to cut. I'm sorry. So there was one called the Highlands Fair, 5 to 8 years old, all anonymous almost, right? Not all, but yeah, the three first, at 46%. A bit sweet, maybe too sweet for me, but was okay. Then we went to the one that you see, the glass is filled with. It's the Royal Cabinet, 20 years old blend. Quite interesting, sweet, 44.9 ABV for this one. We went then to, on the right picture, you can see the Widow's Cove, which is an Islay single malt with a Fino sherry finish, quite nice, 50.4. Non-chill filtered, I forgot to say, and it appears to be an 11 years old Colilla. Right, so quite nice as well. More unusual, and it's interesting. The Voodoo, they have some crazy labels indeed, very cartoonish, quite funny. The Voodoo that you can see there, let me check if there's one after. Yeah. The Voodoo in the middle is, which has another subtitle, but it's a mix of Cameron Bridge and North British. So it's a blended grain, which is quite rare, right? And this one has sherry and Saint-Emilion wine in it. Also, it was a cask strength, 58.7 maybe. I cannot read myself. Apologies. So yeah, bit whiny, but interesting proposal, especially because it's, you know, it's rare, so rare, aside from the hedonism, to come across blended grain, and especially blended grain that doesn't have a bourbon only maturation, right? So you can see on the right part of the label of a single malt, which you're going to see here. So Nc'Nean, 9 years old, in the Cask Masters series. So where did I wrote 2005 and 25? Sorry. because it's a 9 years old, so it's probably the wrong number. Apologies. First field port barrique, quite unusual as well for a Nc'Nean. 49.9, 307 bottles only. So what did I thought of that? Very well made. Okay, I'm not sure I recognize the Nc'Nean house style, but very, very, very well made single malt, and something different to bring on the table. It's what's in the glass on the right. You cannot see it. It's a bit reddish, but still a bit amber to red. So yeah, first apparition of, as you can see at World Whiskey Awards, they got a prize. You're gonna see some of those in other stands as well. Moving on to something different. When I was in hall 4, I was losing my way, and time was going quick. So I said I gotta maybe stop to have lunch. But before lunch, because the lunch will kind of wash a bit my palate, or clean, not exactly, but sort of clean my palate with the food, I said, oh, okay, I will authorize myself, because it's very rare to go to go to. I didn't want to try any wine, but there was a very tempting from the Poultsidis wines company. Organic and vegan wines only, apparently. I really want to try the Milleros, which was a black muscat, 14.5 ABV. Quite impressive, from the city of Tyrnavos. Beautiful, lots of jammy fruit, red fruit, dried fruit. It's a real liquid dessert treat that I really enjoyed. I tried one or two other wines, but to be honest, I was not in the mood for that, so not necessarily liked them. Then I had one of the 3 or 4 most important shocks of the show, and a true revelation, to be honest. We're gonna see several slides after this one. On the right, you can see a picture of the beautiful decoration they chose for their Ouzo, which is aniseed aperitif from Greece that changes names to Arak or Raki in Turkey or in Lebanon. And these guys do wines, but wow, they do Ouzo. It's a family-owned company since 1856. And they do craft distilling, they do craft work for everything I tried. The Ouzo has 14 different botanicals and spices. It's absolutely insane, insanely complex and beautiful, double distilled, and 100% distillation, and not something using neutral grain, as I understand for many other brands. It's the best Ouzo I ever had in my life. Yes, I'm half Greek, half Armenian, so for once I did authorize myself for a quick survey of things related to my origins, which I will very difficultly try otherwise. Okay, let's not be too long. What do we have here? On the left, we have different kinds of sizes of Ouzo, so the aperitif that it's equivalent of pastis or Ricard in France. On the right, you have Masticha, which will be very difficult to explain to you quickly, but yeah, it's for the French audience, résine de lentisque. It's a kind of little tree that grows in the most hot parts of Greece, and if you use this, you can have a product which has proven digestive abilities. Oh, hey, good to see you, man. I just, bon appetit, I just mentioned people who will listen this at podcast. So have a nice lunch break. Yeah, we passed some whiskey references, United States, England, and now we're on to other spirits. So I'm sorry, you have to wait for more whiskeys. Then they even tried to do a limoncello, which was insanely pure as well. And then what you see on the right with the black label, we're going to see it more because it absolutely blew my mind. So it's the Tsipouro, which is grape distilled. Uh, I chose the page of the website because you can see some facts there. So family owned. This is somewhere like 20-30 euros, but this is 40%, but this is as beautiful as the best beautiful grappas I'm gonna evoke later on. This is insanely subtle, insanely well made, double distilled. They even have, you're gonna see there, a triple distilled Angel's Tears with 3 different designs on the beautiful bottle. You can see 2 out of 3 there. So this one is even more subtle, but I kind of prefer the very distinctive flavors, grapey but not winey, but very subtle of the previous one, and the Tiernaveau version of the Katsaros. Last thing from them, yes, aged Tsipouro, which is kind of a grappa, let's say Greek grappa, to make things easier for you. This was beautiful. You have 2 different, it's the same liquid on the small rounded bottle and in the decanter. I didn't try the wines. I'm sure they were great as well, but very, very impressive. I'm gonna buy some bottles when I can, probably do a review. So yeah, now quickly from my Armenian side before I went to lunch. So the picture I showed you before with Jenni, in fact, is after, but I wanted to group English topic. Yeah, I tried just this. I said I'm not going to try red wine or white wine. I only can try sweet wine before going to lunch, and I had a blast with this one. As you can see, Armenian oak barrels, 24 months, 13 ABV. It was Noah from the Altterra wines in Armenia. Right. Before we move to the first tastings, I went to La Maison du Whisky stand where there were a few things I didn't know or had to confirm, because I didn't bought my bottle of the Nika on the left. The extra marriage, which had 3 more months of marriage, and it shows, believe me, it shows. This is beautiful. This I had to buy to compare it to the regular Nika from the barrel. And on the right, it was first Hamden Jamaican rum I had for a long time, probably 10 years. Yeah, I had a highester one also at a friend, Chris, but who has a crazy collection of rums. This, I think, is probably 4 to 6 years old only. What was the percentage of this one again? But boy, very funky. Ripe banana, okay, but also a lot of funk, almost Campbelltown funk in rum. So loads of very nice oak. 3 years old only. Very, very interesting. For people who like Springbank, I think you gotta pay attention to Hamden. So moving on to the next, another revelation of the show. And there are one other slide. Yeah, 2 other slides. Very, very impressive. Oh, what does it say? Matt says longer finish, spicier finish. Ah, Mad Heather. I don't understand. Maybe you mean better or less good? I didn't get it. Anyway, I think it deserves probably. Um, I would you to jump in, but I suppose you can't. You're on lunch at work, so it's. But another time, if a connection is okay, and I'm really crossing fingers for this to last. It hasn't been fixed, but I'm going on Wi-Fi. But Taichung Distillery, which is part of, let me check. Taiwan Tobacco and Liquor Corporation. So this was a true revelation, and the three proposals I added colors so you can figure out the three bottles what they are. So they choose to do only single grain so far of what I've seen, and this is very impressive. This is very impressive. They were all single cask and cask strength. Very gutsy proposal there with wheat. I never had a wheated whiskey in sherry cask. Never had, and I think it's probably a world premiere to use sorghum, which would say sorgo here, which is usually something that's used for baijiu. That you had also here the Mutai brand, which is the most famous in France, probably in the world, I don't know. Baijiu is very, very divisive. It's a very something that almost worst for people who don't like peated whiskey, worse than peated whiskeys. It's very distinctive, super earthy. I didn't have on the second whiskey on the middle, I didn't have that sensation. It was very mellowed, probably because of the bourbon cask maturation. Because normally the baijiu is buried. It's a bit like mezcal, in fact, but it's in jars, in clay jars, under the earth, but buried. But there's something very different, even from mezcal and from peated whiskies, and I didn't really felt it there. So maybe they're toned down this. To not disorient too much the Western audience. I don't know. Third one was wheat in virgin oak. I mean, the three were great. I love the three. This is crazy how good they were. You can see there the boxes, and you can see one of them, the probably the most spectacular with all the details. So national company founded in 1922 for the national takeover, but the distillery was founded in 1919. Sorry, wheat. Sorry, with sherry cask maturation. It's insane. So what is that? 7 years old? Yeah, something like that. And the whole cask strength, like I said, 54.4. Very interesting. I will struggle to describe. I would love to get me a bottle of this. So you certainly, as for Lezhou from continental China, this is also China, by the way. And in case you wonder, when you go on the website, you see Taiwan Tobacco and Liquor Corporation. I'm not going to talk politics there, but just facts, ROC, which is the Republic of China. So end of the debate. Moving to Oxenham Mauritius rum. So as you can see, you have some facts there. I tried to do my best to give you infos. I couldn't about everything because it's 167 slides. And more pictures that I had to gather together. So it's founded in 1932 for wine, then gin and rum, and distilling rum since 2010, craft rum, I mean. And why oaks and ham? On the left, it's a play of words on the name of the founder, and I met one of his grandsons who is directing and marketing. So Alan Oxenham, oak means stays English in the name of the rums there, but am means in French souls. So it's oaks and souls for those who are not French. So what did I try? I'm not going to detail for a long time everything. I tried a white rum, which was okay, 43% ABV for almost all. They had a gold, which was a bit of age, then the VSOP, which is, I think, 4 years maybe, which has more character. The Hordage, which you can see, I think it's maybe you cannot see it there, on the left. Was 10 years old plus. And my favorite, I think, was the EXO, which really was impressive. And there was also the one that's under the buried in violet label under his award. It's a 9 years old sherry finish for 1 year, but these guys use a lot of different casks. They use Banyuls, which is sweet wine. They use American oak. They use Tennessee whiskey cask. Lots of things. They have also another brand, which is I don't know if you see it. No, it's a Bougainville, 8 years old, which was very nice. Also sherried. Well, okay, so was interesting discovery. Then I went to another Mauritius rum stand, so molasses rum, mind you. This one was founded by a French guy in 2012, part of the Lichcore company. So these guys did choose something very, again, original and borderline of being necessarily the purest form of Mauritius rum, sorry guys, with port and American oak finish for everything. But it were okay. I mean, classic edition, black 48 edition, emerald edition, velvet edition, 40. I prefer those at 48 and 43%, respectively. The black and the velvet were my favorite. They have some sugar, they have some chill filtration. The Oxenham came across for me more natural, presented, but these beautiful decanters for all those, and honest company. Now we're going to something different for those who are interested, hopefully, in Grappa. I bought a bottle some time ago, which is there. Then you're gonna see anyway, which is there, that I'm gonna try. And okay, let's see if I can put this down for a second. Yeah, I really love this bottle. Why? Okay, it's 50 cl only, but you have these marks here in the glass, so you can know where you are consumption wise, and maybe if you have guests, etc., you can decide. Then you have this cork, which is, I prefer those cork now, even if it's not natural for you. But there is this, I don't know if you can see it, which helps you pour in your glass. This is fantastic. So it's very practical bottle. Yeah, they had an award, but who cares about the awards, right? This comes almost always in the 50 cl bottles and boxes where you can learn everything about it. And guess what? This Grappa Italian distillery does now also whiskey. It's crazy. So what you can see on this picture on the left with a brown label, it's a Sauterne Reserva, 5 years old Sauterne, 44% ABV. Beautiful stuff, very funky. As for the Madeira, I'm going to explain that in a second. Is there the rum after? Yeah, and yeah, okay. So before I try two products from them before you, let's go to this one, which was one of the best of the stand. Beautiful, you can see I found it in 90 in the north of Italy, the Grappa Riserva. 5 years old, Botti di Rum. Botti is the cask, so rum cask, Jamaican rum. 44% ABV, as almost everything they have. Beautiful, pure rum, nice rum, molasses rum, okay, but very sweet and also with some character, not high esters, but very interesting, ripe fruits all the way. And then we're going to go there for the tasting. So we're going to try first the Madeira. So this, the first time opened it, I was almost, I was very worried. You have to let the bottle take the air for half an hour at least, and same for the glass. Yeah, okay, because it has some crazy funky. Oh, did you had also? Yeah, this is very disturbing at the opening, but once you open it and once you let it breathe, the funkiness, which was also almost, I would say, baby sick vomit. Yes, I'm sorry. So I said to myself, first time I did open it, oh my God, what's happening to this bottle? It's disgusting. I'm not gonna drink it. But something told me, because they have a great reputation, as for something else I'm gonna show you after, it's gotta be good because of their reputation and all the people saying it's awesome. So there's gotta be something with the bottle. Let the bottle breathe for an hour or two, and then the magic happened. Okay, it's 40% ABV. I always regret this ABV, but let me tell you. So once you pass this funky nose, there's something, yes, a bit rancid butter, but it's something that's with some. There's something like other grappas, but something. There's a funkiness that can also make you think a bit, just a bit, of some Balakin, Brora, or even some Kilkerran in some ways. It's super funky. Then you have something bordering, I don't know, almost something soapy. But then and then I think, gotta write my notes. Yeah, 2 years in I think virgin oak, maybe, or used oak, and then 2 years in Madeira casks. You start, the more you let it breathe, you start to get some absolutely wonderful floral notes, heady flowers. Then there are things I cannot even pinpoint. I have to go to see my notes of other things. Floral, botanical. Yeah, okay, you have some very prickly lemons. That's it. Very acidic lemons. Acidic and a bit of acidulus, maybe a bit of quince as well. Maybe some exotic fruit. I will maybe dare to say, what's the name of this Chinese fruit with almost disgusting smell? Something like that. Dragon fruit, maybe. But let's see on the palate. First seconds, you want to hate that. It's very particular. Then mid-palate, it starts to blossom in your mouth. And then gets completely aérien for a second. And then, because it's 40% and not 44, it vanishes immediately. But between the moment you drink it and you swallow it, you have probably 15 seconds of happiness. So yeah, it's not nonino, but it's weird, funky, and beautiful. Not even try to open it. It's very delicate. Yeah, there might be some mix of, okay, bergamot, oranges, and mandarin, maybe. Yeah, there might be that. Going funky because there's a bit of passion fruit with it. Durian, that's it. I'm not sure I tried durian, but now I know that's probably the clashing of the very citric mandarin lemon notes against passion fruit and oh dang, papaya, and maybe mango, but quite ripe mango. Okay, anyways. Okay, now let's go to the UFO, and this was gifted to me, so I have to. The little bottle, but it's available in 70 cl. I think I'm gonna show it. Yeah, there was also this beautiful. What else I tried? I tried a Grappa di Barolo, 14 years old. It's the one in the decanter on the left. Beautiful stuff, 44% ABV. Things around 70, 80 euro. It's everything is too cheap. 30. Okay, it's 50 cl for the others, but I mean, you can find them online for 30, 40. Ridiculous. Okay, let's get now. I also tried. I think I tried a Moscato, which was beautiful as well. There you go. So some UFO. So Sibona distillate. Sibona is distillery. So it's malted barley from them with a bit of Italian peat, and for the minority, it was transferred into a Kulila cask with Scottish peat, obviously. This is 44% ABV. I tried it at the show and I really liked it. And as the guy saw, I was a fan of his grappa already. He kindly proposed me to give me that. So the second time I tried, so quite clear. So it's not more than 3-4 years old, mind you. At the beginning, I had the same funk, but even more, Balekin and some Port Charlotte that are very funky, very farmy. So it's kind of farm nose. Again, I'll let it breathe for half an hour or more now. And then you have the smoke, gentle smoke and malted barley. Very cereal forward, very light peat. The guy said 20 ppm. I'm not sure, but yeah, so still funky. There's something I mean, it's not for everyone. But let's see on the nose, on the palate, I mean. So I don't remember, is it... I learned Italian, but I forgot everything. Oh yeah, they say also it's the pot still uses a water bath, and the veil, the source, is up to 2,042 meters high, where they take the water to use for that and to dilute it. Nice. On the palate, it is way less funky. You could take it for the kind of buttery, a bit farmy, very green, both green and animal. You could take it for an Indie Lecheg, or because there's less medicinal thing, an ashy thing, maybe for a Balekin or a light Balekin, or it's a Port Charlotte minus this very seductive, in my opinion, star anise note. There's some light ashy, but very honeyed Also smoke. Very interesting. And I forgot my dropper. Oh man, I gotta be back. I'm sorry. Bear with me. I need my dropper. Oh my god, it's the first time I forget that in a live show. And I don't need this. Apologies. There you go. This is not my everyday video or live show, right? Okay. I shall go quicker now because I crammed 1 hour. Okay, not too much water, Greg. It's very clean. Despite all I said, it's very clean distillate. And the smoke, bit smoke is very well integrated. Maybe I did put too much water. Overall, nice experience. I saw something like 50, 60 euros for the 70 cl bottle. I think it's worth. If you want to pretend you have an Italian whiskey home, why not? So yeah, rather good. I cannot rate this now, of course, but it's a decent. Yeah, okay. So last year I had a blast meeting Antonella, one of the three sisters running the distillery now, the Nonino cult Grappa distillery, founded in 1897 in the northeast of Italy, family owned and women owned. We can say now. I got 3 from them. I don't have the one I tried, which is their Monovitigno means single grape. So this one I tried again is the Chardonnay. This is beautiful, stunning stuff. I think probably 2 years, not more. And for a second, let me show you. Sorry. Yup. Oh, and me. I hope you still see me. Okay. So this is my favorite old time. I knew there were others. The Grappa di Moscato, Musca in French, Moscato in Italian. It's a 41%. It is absolutely mind-blowing. You have, if you love Grappa or you're open to white spirits, aged a bit or not, this one unaged, but I also have a 5 years old and 18 months. This from different kinds of barriques. I absolutely recommend this brand, and I'm not paid, and I did pay those bottles myself. Right, okay. Let's go back to the, okay, so this one was fantastic. As you can see, no additives. They use the fresh grapes immediately after the harvest to work on them. So this, I mean, it's totally fresh. Okay, well, let's go back to whiskey. Tullibardine, it's a brand that had disappeared. I think it's Terroir, I cannot read myself. Terroir of something, it's the name of the distributor, the new distributor. So I tried a 15 years old, bottled at 43, that's on first fill bourbon barrels. That was nice, but maybe not enough distinctive for me, I don't know why. But then I tried the Murray, which is first fill bourbon cask strength, the new one that's on the right, 56.1, and this was quite something. A non-chill filtered, price around 18, 19 euros here. Very, very good stuff. So really, I really recommend this one. It's brand new, so there have been different versions of the Murray, but this one on the right, if you like bourbon, if you like some, it's a bit tannic, but not too much. I mean, I think a bit of the aged, the cask strength bourbon Aaron, you will love it. And it's less distinctive, I have to say, less weird than the ones I have, especially the old vintages from the 80s and 90s. That has some very almost geranium, bit unpleasant note on the nose and on the palate. Very funky. Not everyone likes Tullibardine. I had the 2025 knowledge statement Sauterne, which was so-so. Not very interesting for me. I won't replace it. I finished it. I kept the box to put a Longrow in there. So moving on to, yeah, I will second that, my friend, for now. Otherwise go into indie territory. Yes, I said I don't have the name. Let me check a second. Good question. Très bonne question. My trusty. Eh oui, Terroir Distillers. Picard Vin et Spiritueux is the name. Well noted, my friend. Yeah, and while we're at it, guys, please check out Whiskey on the West Coast channel, one of the most interesting, cool, and working on its, doing exhaustive reviews or working on what he presents to you, and not just say, oh, okay, I'm gonna try it and yeah, and give a mark, blah blah. No, he's working. The guy's working. Right. Yeah, so that's it. So these, and yes, it's my business card. And yeah, I tried those three. I mean, it's not the first time that I tried those three, but I'm sorry, guys. I loved so much the new make the first time they made us try it in France that I was expecting so much of it. And the first releases, like Roy said recently, were disappointing. Because of the 50 cl priced very high, but also because of the virgin oak thing and the heavily charred and this and that and the quarter cask, and I didn't saw any natural presentation so far. So the original was not bad. Oh, you're welcome. What did I wrote? I didn't wrote a lot of things, honestly. When you go that quick, not that quick, but you have so many things to. I think I like the original. There was a single cask bourbon, but it was not there. I don't see it. The peated PX, I like it. It's my favorite so far. The triple distilled peated, good as well. Yeah, I tried. I had a sample that Benny sent me of the 8 years old. Sorry, Aquavite edition. It was nice, but for me, a bit too first fill bourbon. And like I said yesterday, I'm sorry for many releases. I think we have to work on first fill and refill to tame the oak and let the distillate shine. That doesn't mean, like I said, the contrary. Okay, for some releases, it works a whole lot with just first fill bourbon. But for the Glasgow distillate, I sense it has to be partly refill, partly first fill. Just my opinion. You're not obliged to agree. Moving on. Yeah. So there was a thing with the Irish stands. I mean, I saw there were a big one, Bord Bia. I mean, the state, the government, the Irish government. I was invited once in the embassy here. They did big things. Even the stands were very small, like for the Scottish corner. It was, I mean, I was shocked so small the stands were. But nevertheless, they had a lot of brands I wanted to see. Reason searching for other brands before going back to there, and I was never able to come back. Fortunately, at Whisky du Monde, I think, if not mistaken, they had the distribution of the Boann, so they have this Irish distillery there with 3 proposals. But I missed Gigi Corey. I wanted mandatorily to try this. What is the bonded Irish whiskey like? What's this thing? How it differs from blending and indie bottling? I wanted to learn more, and I missed this stand and a few others. Drum Shambo as well. Always something preventing me from going there to try the single malts. Well, I love the gins, and I have one of the gins. Anyways, I tried the triple distill PX and Ouzo, which seemed to be the most popular. I love the 3. Between them, the one I would prefer. They're all 47% non-filtered and non-colored. The Madeira was in the middle. I had very high expectations, but they were very tamed. Maybe it was just, oh, hi, Dustin, because I talked about Kilkerran. That's what you for a second. Hi, Dustin. Good to see you there. So yeah, I like those 3, but I couldn't say I will have a memory forever of what they are. So I probably need to try them on a separate tasting. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, we're gonna move, I'm sorry, back and forth from different spirits to whiskey according to the stands I did visit. I tried to gather some brands, so it's not necessarily my visit. Very good. So yeah, François Voyer, and this is a trend in French cognac, starting to worry consumers who want to compare different spirits. So there's a lot of companies now, even in Armagnac, bringing on age statements. Well, before they had the code VS, VSOP, XO, Ordage, etc. Now there's many cognac brands bringing on age statements, and it's fine, and we love that. So François Voyer had very, how could I call these, if I can find my notes somewhere. There was something consensuous, or let's say crowd pleaser. Cognac, don't want to disrespect in any way this brand, but there was something that was good, but not necessarily more than that. I can find my notes right now, because probably I changed the order, but I might go back to it. Oh yeah, there are. So my favorite was a 20 years old, over the 25. I don't know if because it was 52% ABV. Listen to this: a cognac at 52% ABV, official, not an indie. Is over 43.3, and the last one 54.3. That may be a bit too oaky for me, but with a nice sandalwood note. I did write down. Yeah, and the good thing, which I talked about this before, it's the progress of the local consumption. Oh, Romain, salut. Hey. Well, I used I watch, oh, by the way, go to See Top Shelf, Dustin, Mike, and sometimes also the other Mike, I forgot. Oh, forgive me. That I used to watch a long time ago. Ah, thank you. Yeah, please, people, if you like metal, go to see my latest video. Even if there's a sound issue, this might be interesting for you. Thanks, Romain, for reminding this. Yeah. Yeah, but you need to leave more comments before under the video, my friend. There's I discovered by chance that people watch the video, but never, not often. Okay, let's be fair in comments. Okay, moving on. Ben Romach, sorry for the blurry picture, but I think the outfit of the lady did capture the telephone, the lens more than me. Ben Romach 21, this was great at Whisky Life Paris. This was great. I had to try it again. Their stand were ridiculously small, so were going to pour me things. The other people from the 30 centimeters, believe me, just on the left or the right, we had other interesting brands. They're moving backwards. And then they had appointments, so I couldn't. This is how I missed Glenfarclas, for instance, and other brands. Yes, something tells me it is going to happen, but I'm not 100% sure. It's hearsay from both Rob Whiskey in the Six, who had an ambassador there, and Roy, who had the info, apparently. Okay. Up. I gotta withdraw this. How do I do that? Okay. The Rilo, I mean, I tasted how many inch journey? I tasted 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one at 46.3. There's the 2018 New Oak Char, good. The King Lassie, peated 8 years old, 46.3. The 8 years old Amontillado finish, they were all good. Or 48, I don't know. 46 most probably, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, next Whiskey Live, I think we'll have the answer. So the Rilo were good. Not a fan of the very showing off bottle shape design, to be honest. So I don't know. I struggle to have a memory of how it was. I'm going to disappoint also a lot of people, but as much as I could, and I write down notes that I can't even understand. 60% PX, 25% bourbon, 10% virgin oak, etc., etc. I mean, it's insane. 10 cask strength, 59.4. I was excited about that. I'm sorry. The Mikkeltor original at 50%, a mix of bourbon, rye, American virgin oak. It's the same. It wasn't bad, but I didn't have a blast. I didn't really get it. And 5 years old, the Sherry one, PX, and Sherry 48.7. The same as so. I cannot get into that. That is why, if you followed my video about Whiskey Live Paris, I was so pissed off to try, not Whiskey Live Paris, no, best of the year. That's why I was so pissed off to discover that indie bottlers could bottle way better Glenallachys, in my opinion, than Billy himself, and I was mad after Billy. Yes, the Glenallachie 10 years old Kid and Head from 2025, it was one of my top whiskies of the year. Way more interesting, sorry, than those cask-driven 100% or 80% whiskies. I see I'm gonna get some heat, but I don't care. It's my opinion. Then, yeah, you have a lot to read. This is my way of apologizing to the brand. Oh, thank you very much, Dustin. And you know why I am privileged to be old enough to have been able to get a 35 years old Glenallachie from Elixir. And every release I see, I have to compare it to it, and they lose compared to what Sukinder did choose. So, you see, yes, let's go into some craft rye. Ah, ok. Eh ben, écoute, moi, je parle du liquide. Catoctin Creek, so you have the explanation. I think you can read it. Please confirm me if you can read what's in violet that I did add to their page. And what you see on the top right is my samples, which when they had a French distributor, Backpack Spirits, which unfortunately is over, they kindly sent me those so I could discover what they do. And merci Romain. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to their stand but it's my way of saying sorry and to bring you the content there. So I'm gonna try those two. Oh, well, you know the answer from me. I might know the answer from Dustin about the 10 years old. But while I'm not as tough as I'm not as tough as Dustin and Mike, I do think that the 10 years old was released too soon, and they should have not used those casks. I did a video comparing to the Paul Lanois, and the Paul Lanois literally killed it. Yeah. So you have it. Oh, no, I will disagree. I prefer the small batch reduced. You have to try the inaugural Armagnac 46.3. You have to try several batches with numbers. This is where, for me, the real deal is, but probably not for you because you tend to prefer cask strength whiskies, I know. Anyway, and sherried single cask from Armagnac, I haven't tried any that was at the level of the Barry Brosson Road one I tried. So yeah, they still have work to do. So what do I have here? So I have a family-owned wee little distillery in Virginia from Catoctin Creek. So it's 100% organic, and some say also kosher, I'm not sure. Rye from Virginia. So this one is the 40%er. And then I'm going to try the cask proof, which is 58% on the label, but sometimes go more, a few more ABVs or points after the. So, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. This is, those two are for Reb, for sure. Reb Mordecai. No, I think it's Reb. So if you're watching on the replay, Reb, cheers. Okay, so I think the cask, I probably Dustin knows those whiskies more than me. I think the cask strength did get some awards. Yeah, so this is very particular. It's 100% dry, but it's nothing to do with, for instance, the Lot 40, which I like very much, or the what was that was blowing me away. Yes, it was not American. Oh, I see there's a big argue on the chat. I will get to a second. Let me just. So these samples, for the record, are open for 2 years at least, and there's some content missing. So please take my my notes with reservation for those two ones. So a bit minty, a bit herbal. It's a bit austere on the nose, but yet you have a lot of floral notes. So I read a few things once I tried them, but I'm gonna say it only if it's confirmed there. Okay. Wow. Yeah, okay. The reviews mention a very floral, almost cloying, almost shockingly present lavender. Don't say Beaumont. There's something like that, yes. This very rounded. It's true. Oh, let me see, because it's too much thing going on. I'm not sure about that. If you see who won my top whiskies of the year this year, I'm sorry, they are 5 years old. It's just my opinion, of course, but I get to have some experience. and I won't apologize for saying that. But again, it's personal taste, dusting. So now I don't know 6 years old, which you're talking about, a precise Ard American. You know, even if I will praise a brand, it depends on each release. So sometimes there's no consistency. Yeah, I would say there is, but not in every release. I don't know if we can agree with that. Okay, I'm gonna try to shake this 40%er with a bit of water. Because the number of people praising Glenallachie, which have never tasted an old Glenallachie, let me tell you, is shocking. Because you have to do comparisons. Wow, the nose is way better now. So for the people coming in there, I'm trying the Roundstone Rye whiskey from Catoctin Creek, which I couldn't meet at the show, but as a compensation and apologies, I'm trying the samples that we're waiting for a review in another context. It's very nice now, better balanced. The thing is, it's so much melted. It is said to be 2 years old, but I'm not sure. That this is where the 40% is really doing harm to this whiskey, in my opinion. Now, there are 40%ers that are beautiful. This one is nice, but needs some oomph, at least 3% for me. But it's good. It's a kind of, I say kind of, the same roundness and charm than the Weller 12 has. Or maybe not the 12, the one that's no age stated, I forgot the name, which is softer. But it's a bit different at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna move to the cask proof. So big argue on the la. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, I haven't tried the Armagnac, to be honest, because it's not for my market. Yes, I have to get me this one, Matt. And I agree about the Madeira, it's beautiful. Yet, the problem for me, and I agree with Dustin in this, in that perspective, is considering the potential I sensed they had since the very first I tried. I think they could do way better than that. The Meiji one is a complete mess for me because it goes in too many directions with the different casks. The Meiji 2 is way better, but it's very shy. I think the Madeira release should have been named also the Meiji because it has more bite than the Meiji 2. Just my opinion, don't kill me, Jenni and Antonia, please. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the one that's on the represented on full picture, so to speak. So so it's the cream, let's say, brown clear label on your picture on the top right. I'm gonna move on to this one and see if 58% makes a difference. Don't get me started on the no names, Romain, because I really hated the one. I'm not sure about the 2, and I missed the 3 because the one had too much Ardbeg in it, unbalanced. Yes, they do for some. And I saw a lot of reviews from you, Dustin, of beautiful stuff, but way up my usual price spending. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, Matt. Hope to have your feedback afterwards in replay if you want. Thanks for coming. Okay, so surprisingly neutral on the nose, this cask strength. Dustin, you didn't tell me if you think it's a serious brand for you, Catoctin Creek. Don't want to distract you for your Scottish debate, whiskies debate, but ooh, wow, it's way more spicy and kicking your tongue. Oh, really? Okay. Well, there's so many now craft brands, to be honest. It was distributed at some point in France by Sebastian from Backpack Spirits. He sent me also samples of Odd Society, which is from Vancouver. It's Canadian this time. He had Canadian brands and two brewers, which I bought a bottle, and I love what they do, but it's very hard to find their stuff here. And another American bourbon-oriented limestone branch. Rest in peace. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to open it up. Don't tend to get into rye. Oh, okay. Well, I love rye. I don't know if you know that. And when I worked my French whiskey, which had some rye tendencies, I did working in that direction a lot. So it comes across a lot as a rye alternative, in my opinion, especially with the use of acacia wood, which really pushed in that direction. I hope someday we'll be able to try it, but it's complicated. There's almost no bottles available now. Okay, so more gentle, more minty, more tea elements there, black tea, and maybe some, Christmas spices tea, which I like very much, with cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, plus aniseed. Oh, okay. Acacia strain, I don't know if you mean by that. Please, if it's complicated, say it in French. Tant pis pour parce que là, je vais pas m'en sortir. Oui, il y a des histoires comme quoi l'acacia, c'est pas forcément ce qu'on prend pour de l'acacia, n'est pas forcément du bois d'acacia. Il y a un autre nom, si c'est ça que tu veux dire. Ooh. Again, once you open it, a lot of the sweetness, silky sweetness on the palate, plus the violet lavender potpourri bouquet comes back. So either you like it in some more as well, or you hate it. You're gonna like or hate this whiskey. It's very, very much to this consideration if you're gonna like it or not. Some people cannot stand those notes. Me, I love them if it's not too excessive, because it can be a technical problem of, for instance, cleaning the stills with soap, with a trend which was unfortunately happening in Scotland at some point. Oh no, pity. It's only a metal band. Where are we going? Française, it's a woman, so Français. You won't like this. But yeah, I mean, there's so many people loving our our wines, and that you don't have to be French, no. But thanks. Okay, that was nice. I don't know how to rate it. Somehow, even with the 58% ABV, it's like if it was, it comes across for me as if it was triple distilled. So very subtle, maybe too much. So what I would conclude is at the same time, I will want to give them credit for that subtlety, but at the same time, tell them that they miss something in terms of power and oomph, but maintaining some drinkability, so to speak. So I don't know if this makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna move on because I have 2 whiskeys yet to try and a lot of things to speak about. So I'm saying what you're saying, but we'll try to focus. Then we went back to French whiskeys, and let me tell you, this is a great new distillery from here. On the left, you have the new Village core range expression, which is a bit gut-silly, so to speak, bottled at 41%. Why gut-silly? Because they are used to way more ABVs there. I have a single cask at 48.5 that is stunning, one of my whiskies of the year last year. Their new single cask in Pinot Noir is as good, if not better, as the previous one. I will talk about it again. But this is for the entry level, which kind of replaces the Heure de Plaine. And you have the Vendange, which is the one I was talking about on the right, stunning stuff. This is a bit funky. This is a kind of response of, I would say, unpitted Port and farmy Port Charlotte. See what I mean? Pay attention to this brand. Soligny, which is in the Champagne region of France. Very good stuff. Yes, and I will show you one in a minute, which is very good, but I'm not sure it will be to your liking because it's a blended malt, which has a lot of reduction, but it's as subtle as a compass box, is what I said to the master blender, who have become a friend with, Adrien. Oh, okay, now we're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be shocked, my friends. Who is this woman? Also very gutsy, because she worked in way other things than whiskey or spirits, and now she's one of the leaders of the French scene of the zero alcohol trend. Yeah, please don't go. It's just for a few minutes. And you're going to be surprised, my friend, because I'm going to give you a spoiler, unless you had it before from me, related to this woman and to these products, and to John. So basically, what Valerie does, and I met her there, so it was a very interesting discussion, and I'm going to give you some spoilers, so stay tuned. Here's what she does. Okay. She does zero alcohol and zero sugar products on the left that are a base for cocktails, for people who don't want to have sugar or any alcohol and stuff. I know it's a trend. But she distills to get zero alcohol, which I didn't know you can get zero alcohol when you distill botanicals, etc. So kind of complicated process. I won't go there here today, but I will get back to it because I'm involved in something. But what she does with a bit of sugar, with a very interesting alternative, is those four on the right. So basically, BTTR is a bitter with a zero alcohol option. VRMH, of course, vermouth. RHHM is rum, but with no rum, no alcohol, so she's not allowed to call it rum. And the last one, which was my favorite, is the spritz without any alcohol. And this is stunning. The result is very impressive. So when she contacted me some time ago to ask me, do you have John Glazer's email, phone, etc. I want to get in touch with him for something. I said, okay, yes, I do have his current references, but the thing is, I'm not going to give them to anyone without any explanation, because I know he's busy with several projects right now. But you got to tell me a bit more. I didn't know her and her company at that time. And I got to try some products at Whisky Life Paris, and then and I managed, and I was impressed. So when I saw they have a stand there, we finally met and have a chat while we're in contact by mail and phone before that. And why? Because, to put a long story short, I'm involved on the lower level and John Glazer on the highest level in consulting for him and in paneling for me for the final result, working on a whiskey with no whiskey in it. I know, don't kill me. It was a challenge. It is a challenge. And also, I think it's also, I told her I'm going to be very tough about it, and no, absolutely no mercy if it's not good. It doesn't taste like whiskey or something that could be as interesting, because I'm open to other spirits, as you know now. And yet she told me with John, he was feeling the same, and they're now going into another direction, still with this whiskey, no whiskey, going to the smoky territory. That's all I'm going to say for now. And we talked about more, and I hope to be able to tell you more about it as soon as possible. Right. Did you expect that? Tell me in the comments. I think probably I lost half of my audience. Ok, merci Romain. Je ne sais pas si tu as compris ce que j'ai dit, mais c'est un peu spécial. Voilà, ce dernier truc-là. Allez, bye bye. Next up, French whiskey with undisclosed distillery. Entry-level supermarket, branded, etc. I think it's from, not sure it's Whiskey du Monde, or it was, went to another, distilled spirits maybe. I don't want to mistake, I apologize in advance. No, Whiskey du Monde, yeah. It's good to have some notes. So these are blended malts. I have several distilleries. They're not allowed to say what. It's 40% for each. This, I didn't want to try them for a long time. Oui, ok. Je me doute. And then, c'est pas que t'as compris, c'est si ça te choque ou pas et qu'est-ce que t'en penses, quoi, en fait. C'est ça, Romain, surtout. What did you make of it? Pour, voilà. For the English audience, what Romain, who is French, did make of what I said about this zero alcohol project. Is he shocked or not? And are you, the other people, shocked or not? Or interested, etc., etc. So fond d'Odège, there was a wine cask on the right, there was a bourbon on the left, or cognac, and they had also, so Grand Cru Bordeaux is for the right one, they're not allowed to say what. And they had also a peated Tourbet one, and it was good. All three were good, but rather something to start your journey in whiskey with, or a no-brainer, not expensive. There's this interesting proposal value-wise. Then I had two Toguchis, and I did make sure, discussing with them, that they were not like before, which were sourced from other countries and zero local production. Now the Toguchi, Sakurao, Single Malts, and the two different brands of different locations, they're producing apparently 100% Japanese whiskey. And this is a good thing. So on the right, we had the bourbon one, on the left, sorry, black and white label. And on the right, it's a blend of, it's a single blend. Okay, so it's malted barley, unmalted barley. Very interesting. Something like a single pot still, but with no sherry involved. So it was 43%. I think there's a rum finish for Jamaican rum for over 18 months. It was not bad. I had one with the beer cask finish. A friend gave me a sample of it, which I did like. I need to try more, and especially the Sakurao single malt. Okay, now let's go to Armagnac, and this was very good. I already tried the, where is it here? I already tried those two. The one on the left you cannot see, with the insect on the label, which is Resistance, 10 years old at 43%, with Baco grape variety. Very good, very affordable taste-wise. And the Exode that you can see, Exode 14, which you can see the 3-liter bottle with the, you have the very good, very fashionable and charming way of pouring from it with the not the dropper, but you see what I mean. And I have two here that you use to get the help me in the chat to get the liquid out of the cask or out of the decanter or out the demijohns. The dog, or yeah, it's called also the dog, but it's not this one. Okay, so usually they have no age statement for the big audience, but they do also have old age statements and vintages, if I'm not mistaken. It's the first time I was trying the 21 years old on the right, bottled only at 41.6, 70% Baco, 30% Uni Blanc. Around price tags around 78, 80 euros. The others are under, and honestly, this is very good for what it takes. What I love in this family-owned Armagnac producer since 1820 from the Lode family is they are playing really the natural presentation. You can find no additives in there. There's no chill filtration either, sometimes not even any filtration as I understand it. No coloring. I mean, this is hats off for that, because it's not often in Armagnac and Cognac, so especially in official brands. Moving on to Cognac, I went to a brand I never had yet. There's over 5,500 producers of Cognac, most of them not releasing their Cognac and selling it to bigger houses like NSC, etc. Rémy Martin, Rémy Cointreau. So Dobé is a family whose story goes back to 1785 for wine production, and 1986, if I'm not mistaken, for Cognac. Dobé uses, contrarily to some others, only 2 parcels of the 7, if I'm not mistaken, of Cognac, which is only Petit Champagne and Fin Bois, which are not the worst ones. I tried the Blanche d'Armagnac, which is the new make, which was quite interesting. And also, so the VS, so the youngest, and it was okay, but this has A150, while and a bit of sugar, while when you go up in the range, you don't have, or you have way less. So it was not very interesting for me, while the VSOP was way more interesting, the one on the left. Very good as well, the EXO, even at 40%. Then we go, of course, 50 euros kind of for the VSOP and 140 for the, if I'm not mistaken, for the 1999. Very good, with lots of depth and silky mouthfeel. On the next one, you can see Virginie from the from the family who works there for the marketing. Don't have the business card on hand, sorry, so don't want to mistake, but I think she's managing the things with her husband. So she has on her hand, she has the extra Grand Century, which was the highest end Cognac on the stand, and this was magnificent. It's, I understand it, it's, oh man, no, it's not 10 years, it's way more than that, 45 to 50, I think. It's a 40%, but it's absolutely beautiful. One of the best cognacs I've tried. It retails around 300 euros, which is logical with such old content. So yeah, it was very interesting and very surprising. They do also distill whiskey. That was insane to finish with that. With, of course, a cognac finish, and they used a peated malt or casks for that, and it's bottled at 45%. Quite a nice surprise, unexpected, very balanced, a bit like the Sibona. So very good surprise, I didn't expect. Moving on and moving back to Scotland with Duncan Taylor. Long time I haven't tried Duncan Taylor. What's not in picture and what should, because I didn't took pictures of everything. It's the Isle of Harris batch 13 of the Heure and the Oloroso batch 2 of the Heure. Both were very, very good. Just aside from it, there was the Duncan Taylor, which I lost track a long time ago, with all new products. Oh, no, sorry, I have to apologize. And you know what? Misleading me is the labels. There's some similarities. No, it's a Claxton, of course. I apologize. Claxton Indie Bottler. I don't know what I thought Duncan Taylor all of a sudden. So core range, you have the Grain Barn, which is bourbon. Is it the next picture? Yeah, sorry, 30 years old. Single grain, that was very nice, 48% ABV, very decent ABV. Yeah, it's not in the order I tried on the pictures. Years old Ruby Port cask finish single malt, anonymous. Speyside, that's all we know. 48% ABV, nice. Of course, the port is leading the thing, so I cannot tell you which distillery it is. I would never. So maybe I did prefer, for that matter, the grain. The smoky furnace is also a blend, but quite nice, very well made. I also tried oh, there's one I didn't take a picture of. Okay, it is nice. The Glengarrick, 10 years old. Of course, it's undisclosed. So, and last but not least, in the new exploration series. So yes, they still have their dumpy square decanter. I have one with a very old, the Martin, 32 years old, single grain, closed distillery. I never reviewed, I think. Exploration series Kulila, 9 years old, 50% ABV. That was good. That was very good. I think it's sherry. I'm not 100% sure, but that was a good one. I don't know if I can double check. Excuse me. I'm gonna try to double check if I can see. Fresh sherry hogshead, I think. Okay, or barrick. So there you have it. I hope there's someone in the chat. I don't see any other comment. Maybe there's no one at the moment. It's so long, I know. Okay, moving on and to also my two last tastings. So I went to the Speyside Distillery stand, and they had 4 whiskies. I tried the 4, and at the end they gave me those weird things, which I have there, which is kind of posh in France, pouches, or I don't know the name in English, so bags with liquid in there. And in fact, there's almost 5 CL, they say. And they say, take it, and if you want, you can review them if you like them. They don't say that. I say that, yeah, I want to review them. So on the bottom of my picture there, which I had to put in mini bottles, because you cannot say let's try once and try another time. Once the thing is open, it's gone, so, or it's going to spill out everywhere. So I had to put them in these samples, and we're going to get to these now. Okay. Of course, the thing is I tried 2 others. They were more interesting, I have to say, also because the ABV was different. 46% for the Trilogia. The Trilogia combines the three, yeah, you can see there's a repackaging. For those who know, it was more rounded, the labels, the bottles were tall, but a bit different shape, and the labels were completely different. So they have rebranded everything, and basically the Trilogia, you have, oh, did I put the two same, whoa, there's a mistake. Oh, I apologize. I did put the two same, well, I had two different pictures, I'm sorry. So the Trilogia, now, I'm sorry, combines the Trutina, so bourbon matured, the Tene, yeah, weird names I know, port finish, and the Fumare, the peated version. So it's quite a complex recipe and quite works. But my favorite, honestly, was this one, Brume Dorée, which is in English golden mist, 57.6. It's bourbon and virgin oak for 6 months, yes, but over 5, it's very, very good. But now we're going to try those two. So what we have there, and the prices are quite reasonable, around 60 to 70, given the fact that now, as you can see, the distillery is closed, and we don't know when they will have new whiskey, but they have stock that will release as spay. But the 12 years old is bourbon and Ouzo sherry cask. So I have a 2025 release there. And we're going to go to see what's going on with this. The legs are still sticky despite the ABV and the caramel coloring that is alas obvious there. So I'm trying first the chairman's choice, right? Yeah. And then the 12. So chairman's choice, I'm not going to speak about the color because... So the nose is a bit leafy, a bit fruity, a bit oaky, but balanced. And I'm going to say something after. I'm not sure about it, but... So here what's going on. There's a lot of caramel, natural and a bit unnatural, a bit fudgy. There's some dried fruits, little nice sherry influence. It's not sticky and caramelly, one could say, as Dalmore, but gets into modern Macallan territory, so to speak. And what's interesting is the value compared to those Macallans, because it's not that different. Maybe it's more sherried. And despite the 40%, the chill filtration, the caramel coloring, it's not bad. So again, no, I mistake, bourbon and PX, sorry for this one. Yeah, hence a bit red fruit, cherries glazed in sugar and chocolate. Yeah, okay, I understand more now. I mistake, sorry. Initially, I wanted to change the order because I mistake with the ABV. I thought the chairman's choice was 46. I had to correct it the last minute on the, as you can see, maybe. Okay. So not bad, of course, a bit sanitized. I would prefer 46, non-chill filter, blah, 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 but not so bad considering the restrictions, let's say. We're going to move on and finish, but we have still things to see. So please bear with me with the 12 years old. So this time, yes, it's Ouzo and Bourbon. Ooh. It's a bit more heady despite the ABV, which is exactly the same. Ooh, nice. Granny Smith plus red apple. So even the golden. So a complex combo of apples and in compote of apples as well. So jammy apples. Ooh, this one is very quaffable. Yeah, again, a bit frustrated because would have loved to have a 43 at least on those two, but you're very pleasant. I like it. Nice. Yeah, there's something very charming. There's something even like, walking in the forest after the rain. So it's a bit mossy underwood and a bit of mushrooms here and there. Maybe a hint of cinnamon coming in now. Oh, cinnamon on top of an apple pie. That is very good. I love that. Wow, that's lovely. I love it. Well, I will buy that over an entry-level Macallan any day. Haha, thanks, Vicky. Okay, that was good. Next. Yes, Nc'Nean, very good as well. Nc'Nean finished in, I think it was stout. So it's one of the Quiet Rebels featuring Simon. Forgot the name. So this one features Simon and it's STR and stout. And the stout is from the famous brand Innis & Gunn. It's pitted to a very low level, 3 weeks, okay, sorry, of finishing. And it's 48.5. So very good. And on the right, you have something that we will see after the next slide, which is a very cool sister-driven, there's two sisters who work with other people in for the Secret Garden brand of gin located in very close to Edinburgh and in Edinburgh. So they have several kind of gins, and they had more than that, as I see in their. Let me bring this. In their nice leaflet, there are also some recipes. So they have verbena gin. They have wild gin, so different botanicals each time. And the last one is the elderflower and jasmine gin. But I think there's also one that I cannot read, I think summer gin. So they have lots of different gins. So love of natural ingredients in their local botanicals. So it's very crafty. And for once, I will say that, unfortunately, we cannot find this here. But for once, I can say that the 40% were absolutely not bothering me in any way because it was very fragrant. So really love that proposal, love the packaging, love the idea, and yeah, really nice discovery. And I love gins. Okay, let's go back to France. Yes. And to Rozelieures, where I was some time ago, and I talk a lot about them, so I don't want to make you feel I'm paid by them again. Rozelieures, I wanted to retry one of their single cask that I tried too quickly, the Vosne Romanée, which is a wine. It was very nice, very rounded, no winey effect there, very beautiful. I retried the port release on the right, which I tried at the distillery again, and which was fantastic. I really want to get me one, but I struggle. I think it's because they change packaging, so they're gonna be more in the market. So yeah, look forward to cross a bottle of this. I highly recommend this. Of course, the 10 years old. I had the chance to bottle myself my own. And yeah, La Ferté, which is again, I'm not going to be long because I already spoke about them a lot. I really love their approach. It's a kind of French version of Compass Box for the artist blend range. So very soft, 41% ABV for those two. In the middle, you can see a big size bottle they made for, I think, for an occasion or special retailing, and yeah, looks the part. They have been awarded Best Blended Malt, as you can see in the World Whiskey Awards. I did award them as well. Yeah, and on the right picture, you can see on the neck, the blue label represents the classic version. So unpeated with 3 distilleries involved and disclosed from France. With a combination of bourbon, virgin oak, I think, and rum, if I'm not mistaken. And on the right is 1 more distillery involved, and it's a peated version. It's very subtle, very nice, highly recommended. Then we go back to, I had to do a complete revision, or can I call it study? But man, if I show you this, and it's not even complete, no, it's another stand. You can see that these guys are not joking around presenting you all the products they do. So Jean Boyer is no longer the boss now. It's the oldest and the most recognized, we'll say, indie bottler here in France of Scottish whiskies. And they have a new range called National 10, which is reference to the name of the roads, the roads, regional roads, and they have so many proposals. I asked them only to try 3 or 4 of each range. I ended up with almost 10 products, but I wanted to try everything, but I couldn't. In this entry-level range at 43%, I tried I cannot even read me back. The Bella, I think, which was quite nice. The peated Tourbet and another peated with, I think, Banyus, if I'm not mistaken, finish. Quite nice. And then I went to more serious stuff, so to speak, with the single malts, and I did try this beautiful Craigellachie, 2009. Then I went to Secret Campbelltown. It was nice as well. I also tried beautiful Colilla 2016, 8 years old, very way. I think it's the last picture. Yeah. The Pete Peak, which was interesting as well, blended malt. But one of my favorite, I don't know if you can see it, it's a Royal Brackla. I'm not sure. I love those new labels they have, yeah, in the middle. I think it was sherry or bourbon, I cannot read me. But very good. I really loved it. Then I went to a very clever thing from the French Fédération of Whiskey and Spirits. They have a big counter, unfortunately, with yellow lighting. So the bottles are not that great looking. And I tried, on the left, there's Nussbaumer, which is normally fruit spirit producer, but who went into whiskey as well, and they do the Brun. Here is the classic 1.1, 43% with it's distillate from Alsace, from the East region, non-chill filtered, non-colored, and organic. One had to really give them credit for that. Nice, still to discover more, but I liked it. On the right is a novelty from Couvreur, Michel Couvreur. You know him as an indie bottler and refiner, so to speak, of Scotch whiskey, but now he's also doing French whiskey and French blended malt sourced from other distilleries. So it was an 8 years old with sherry and Octave Burgundy. 3 distilleries, 46%. Yeah, you know the guy. Even if it's not there, his daughter and other people are taking care of the company. And yeah, it's a bit vinous, winey for me, too winey for me, but quite nice. Hexanobile. Oh, what a strange name. Yeah, it's the name of the whiskey. But yeah, it was good to see, discover, for instance, this Chevreuse from La Fabrique Alcool, which is a new distillery near Paris. So quite nice as well. 40%, unfortunately, but ex-bourbon, ex-wine, and what else? Virgin oak, I think. It was nice. I preferred the one on the right from the same distillery, new label, bourbon and what's this? I can there's a finish I can't even read. I think it's probably wine. No, I cannot read what it is. Sorry. But yeah, it was young but promising, let's say. Next up, 2 Scotch whiskies, and they should have more, but I couldn't get back. So from Angus Dundee stand, 2 novelties, the Single Malt, even if this was launched in 2023, 5 to 21 years old. Do I read well? Probably. 43%. Bourbon and Ouzo sherry and a bit peated Tomintoul. So quite nice, this one. And more pricey on the right, you have a new Glencadam with a new label as well. That we're not all happy about that, but c'est la vie. 7 years old Calvados, I think Finnish probably, Réserve de Calvados, 46% ABV. Quite nice, well made. It reminds me a bit of my Springbank 12 years old bourbon and Calvados, named Calvados Wood, which I should review soon. Okay, I hope we're close to the end because it's 2 hours more. Now we have something very special. On the left, it's Le Breuil from Château de Breuil, La Spiriterie Française distillery, which owns Le Breuil, which produces Calvados for a long time, and Le Breuil's whiskey for less time, but already 6-7 years. And while they have a core range with a decent ABV, etc., they have a new entry single malt at 40% that I did find okay. Expression de Malte, it's the name. But what blew me away, and I cannot show you all, there are 2 out of 3 bottles on the table. And also I was told, please not to show the cask numbers. Don't know why exactly, because there's you can say the rest, but not the cask numbers, they say. Those are, the first one is a whiskey on the left, 2021, says Tokai finish, 52.4 single cask, and on the right, Calvados, with Guyana rum finish. There was also one with Sauterne finish. My God, I have to tell you, all 3 were stunning. I already tried some rare stuff from them, which was not bottled, but let me tell you, very promising. So I'm looking forward to see those, if I were them, released just like that. No, nothing added, nothing, no water, nothing, just like that. Bottle like that, and I'm buying it. Take my money, like some say. Very impressed. Yeah. Almost finishing, and before doing some French stuff, let's go back far away from France New distillery for us here. New distillery, I think, for many. Callington Mill from Tasmania, Australia, which was already a Whisky Life Paris, but I missed them, so I said I must see them now. You can see the distillery in the first pictures, and also the liquid there, and then you're going to see the bottles. So I did try 4 whiskies of them because they were way too much and we're approaching the end. All wine driven, of course, because it's also a tradition in Australia. You have to know that. 5 years old. There's one called El Sol, which I liked. Spanish, I think Spanish or Solera. Yeah. There was one with, was it Madeira? No, it was the port. There was one called Fusion with port and sherry and Allure. So I think I'm gonna switch to this. Yeah. So driven, but quite nice and nicely balanced. So I was impressed. They do exist since 2018. Right. Last but not least, I had a total blast with this Cognac family-owned brand. And I met Thibaut Moxion, so it's Moxion, the family in Moxion selection. The one on the left is an indie bottling from Through the Grapevine, some French, I think, indie bottler of Cognac. And you can see on the right the color once it's on the sample and on the glass. This really was great, made of Bon Bois 43 or 45.2. Ah, goddamn, the density in this. So yeah, when you see lot 45, low for batch, it's because they're not allowed to tell the year, the vintage, but the vintage is 1945. Bloody hell, that was good. Very impressed, but what they do, every bottling almost was better than the previous one. I tried only 4. Then there's the Bon Bois from 3 vintages. I think it's the one on the right. 1973, 1975, 1978. No, there are 4, but there's only 3 on pictures. I tried the 1976 Grand Champagne 48.5. A bit more tannic for me, I think. But the one that was almost as beautiful as the 2 first was the 70s decades. I think it's no, it's there. It's the last, the one on the left, and that was a selection of Bon Bois only at 50% ABV, batch 1. Okay, this retails at almost 400, but man, it's beautiful stuff. So very dense, ripe fruit, all you can think of, raisins, dates, figs, and all that jazz. Yeah, plum, very, very good. This is top-notch Cognac, and I tell myself, let's finish with that. There's nothing I can try after that. So it's a show ender. Bravo, Thibaut. Beautiful. So that's it. So I hope it was not too long for you, and maybe watch that in different parts. I'm going to add timestamps when I can, and see you soon for something else, hoping to get back to full connection in between. Thanks for watching. See you. Bye-bye.